Hello everyone. Today's topic is having a parents who are emotionally unavailable. So basically, if you are somebody who has this kind of a issue at home, your parents, your in-laws, or especially parents who are emotionally unavailable, or if you have a parents who treat your siblings differently, kinder towards them, and that is not available for you. And if you're somebody who's either a elder child in the family or a very younger child in the family who has taken a lot of responsibility from childhood, either it was thrown at you, forced on you, coerced on you, or it was told to you that it was your responsibility to manage certain things at home, and now you're grown and you perhaps know that those responsibilities were your parents' responsibility. Looking after children is the responsibility of a parent. Looking after your sibling is not the responsibility of our other siblings. No, when you're in a family, being there for each other, looking after your younger sibling is a normal thing. But when it crosses a boundary and it becomes a reason for a child to sacrifice their own life experiences to an extreme point that they have to let go of their desire to like and love and learn music classes, dance classes, or they have to come home early, or they have to let go of certain desires. And if you're somebody who grew up in that kind of a family where making sacrifices, it seems like they expect it to happen from your end, and they wouldn't do that to the other kids, your siblings. Or if you're somebody who feel like it's impossible to have a conversation with your parents because no matter what you speak, they're completely in a different area. They're not ready to talk, they're not ready to understand your point of view, they're not ready to listen to you, they're not sympathizing with you, they're not ready to sit down and have a normal calm conversation. And even if you try to make them have a conversation, it's always they're immediately irritated, they are always retorts, they always have a angry responses, or they always have a complaint, or they're always accusing you of something that you're at fault for no matter what happens. And you're somebody who's emotionally very in tune, like have an emotional intelligence, like you are in tune with whatever happens with people's emotions, their body language, their tone, the way they look, the way they move, that you pick up things, how they would feel from within, to change your own behavior, to change your own way of speaking, to adjust with them so they wouldn't get angry, they wouldn't criticize, they wouldn't say anything negative. It simply means one thing: growing up in a toxic family is so normalized in a patriarch society, and it has another extreme spectrum as well, to teach kids about severe things in the name of feminism. To hate one gender is also something that it's not right for kids and the society as well. So if you're somebody who has these kind of issues, you can do few things. Instead of asking, waiting, longing for the validation from your parents, from your siblings, from your aunts and uncles, grandparents, it is time to to recognize that okay, this is how situation is. What happens is when a child grows up in a family like that, you know child is something that is always looks for somebody that appreciation, some warmth, some kindness, some understanding, some hope. That hope's always there. If you're people who grew up in toxic family, what happens is either they themselves become a part of it, or they resist it because they are so empathetic from within, because they are made to do so. because they choose that love towards that family and family members. And enough, even if they reach a place of they want to hate how things are at home, it's always fight between parents, siblings, and nobody's there to listen to their problems. And if they say something, suddenly everything becomes your problem. It's you who started everything. It's you who become a reason that this happened, that happened. So if you're somebody like that, it's not your fault. It is never your fault. So one thing that I can say that I suggest is that try to be kind to yourself. One thing is, what happens is these kids who grow up in a family like that, and even after becoming an adult, it becomes a habit to be kind and compromising, sacrificing, people pleasing, let go of your own identity, letting go of your ability to say no, those kind of things. So in the name of responsibility, in the name of position that is given to your the adult, now you're the elder sibling, so you have to do this, those kind of things, that's all okay. At the end of the day, it is your decision. But if it is something that's causing your mental health, physical health, some relationships, and if you're still longing for that love and affection, that support from your family that you don't seems to have it already by default, and it seems like you have to earn it, it is something that I can say that it's time to divert that towards yourself. What I would suggest is love is something that automatically would come from a grandparent or a parent to its children. It is not something that child has to earn it. A child never has to earn a parent's approval, love, and support and respect and that protection. It is something that normal. If you're not receiving it, it means that you realize that is how it is. No, you cannot just keep blaming them, or you cannot just keep hoping that one day it would change. It might change, it might never change it in some families. That toxicity is something that's called as, it jumps from one generation to generation. If you still get along with those kind of things without even realizing it, a lot of things that people do without realizing it, it is time to break that generational curse. And it's time to divert that that hope that you have towards them, towards yourself. It means simply acknowledging that this is how the family is, this is how the relationships are, this is how these people are, and start loving yourself is something that you can do. This is only a suggestion. At the end of the day, this is your personal decision that you all have to do by yourself, for yourself. Having to falling in love with yourself makes a lot of changes in life. Then only you'll be able to see who's actually good for you, who is not good for you, who is right for you, who is actually, are they benevolent towards you or not, having it's not good for you, those kind of things. Since emotionally bonded with parents or grandparents or siblings or whatever that you are grown into, that emotional bond, the relationship, the labels, if it is something that's actually causing you severe heartache, disappointment, that pain and suffering, the suffocation, first thing what we can do is acknowledge that this is how it is. Second thing is forgive them. Third thing is forgive yourself that it took you this long to understand that, and it's okay. And next is not to let them do those kind of things and put clear boundaries to those people that this behavior is allowed, this behavior is not allowed, this is expectation is something that I cannot do because that's how it is, because it's not good for me. Putting such boundaries with those kind of people, stop people pleasing. And next step is start loving yourself more. It's not being selfish. If you're surrounded by with people who are actually very giving, very benevolent, very affectionate, or givers, then it's absolutely okay to be, having that kind of behaviors towards each other, because the more you think about them, they will think more about you and they will do more for you. But if you're somebody who's surrounded by takers, then it's a must that that person who's surrounded by takers would think about themselves. It is not selfishness, it is simply understanding, realizing, and self preservation. So loving yourself means making a decision in your life, making yourself a pure point of your decision making without having any ego, without having any resentment towards them. It's simply because you love yourself. It's simple as that. Having, you know, resentment is something builds, it builds a lot of baggages, that resentment, that anger. So try to work on that resentment, that anger, that stored and suppressed emotions. Lot of things that we can do: meditation, you can do volunteering, you can do, you know you can sit and contemplate and directly ask the divine to help to sort out everything if you're emotionally burdened a lot. And there are a lot of ways that we can heal ourselves, doing affirmation on a daily basis immediately after when we wake up, and before going to the bed, that how you want to see I am. Everything is made from energy and vibration. So there are a lot of things that we can change to heal ourselves, to come out of that and start making decision based on the love towards ourselves. Not because that person is this person is, it doesn't matter. It is who they are. We simply can make a decision. We simply be in a place where, without having that ego, without having judgment towards anybody else, it's simply because this is where I am, this is what I experienced in the past, this is what I'm choosing. What I'm choosing is healing, what I'm choosing is forgiving, but also I'm choosing to put that past in the past and only want to go ahead without the burden. This is the best decision that one can make, choosing healing, but also keeping those people and those memories in the back, but also with the healing without taking that burden ahead. A lot of people, they suppress, they cut those emotions out, they cut those relationships out. But without the healing, whenever certain things, certain relationships, certain memories comes back, it triggers an emotional response in people. That is because they are still in need of the healing. So doing something, being financially independent, self-care, eating healthy food, meditating, doing affirmations, going for a walk, basically moving the body and letting the energy circulate throughout our body, and basically trying to reach out to our higher self and trying to make a decision without the ego, but based on love towards ourselves, without having any negative feelings towards anybody, is something that we can do for ourselves. So there are a lot of ways that we can do, which probably I already have spoke about that in my previous videos. If you're somebody who has these kind of issues with your parents, your caretakers, your guardians, your relationships, the family that you're born into, a simple thing that I can say: if you have a memory, if you're born with a memory of your all past lives, you don't have to believe in. There are a lot of people who do not believe in multiple lives, who people believe in single life. It's up to you. I wouldn't say, because it's your journey, it's your spiritual growth, it's your ascension. At the end of the day, we are all souls who are connected to each other, energetically, whether we acknowledge it or not. Um, so if you're somebody like that, you can choose the love towards yourself and make a lot of changes in your life. So instead of keep hoping, waiting, and that longing, that affection, love, the support from you, those kind of a people, even if you're just a friend who's like that, it's okay to let them out of your life, keep them away, and not let them become a important figure in your life. It's okay, no matter what the relationship is, and try to choose peace without sacrificing yourself. A lot of people who try to make peace by sacrificing themselves because they think it's just peaceful. Yes, but having a peace doesn't has to cost anything. It's okay to say no, especially when someone is infringing on you, for whatever that you have, whatever that you don't have. It's okay to say no. There are a lot of people who grew up in this kind of family, Either they themselves turned into takers or narcissistic people, or they become extremely empathetic people because it was taught to them, they were made that way. It's That's what I would suggest. I wouldn't say do this or do that, because at the end of the day, this is your responsibility, or this is your decision to make. It's up to you. I hope, I only hope that if you're somebody who was still experiencing that very toxic relationship, and you feel like they prioritize everybody else over you, they would never listen to you. They would say yes immediately to somebody else who's even a stranger, but they would never say, even if you sit down and give them the bestest advice, they would never say yes. They would still constantly pressure you to do something that is not good for you, that is suffocating you. Or they can easily be there for somebody even like a stranger, but that is never available to you, those kind of things. If you're somebody like that, it's time probably to give it a thought that it's okay that because you're already born in such a kind of family. Because I've seen people, when I scroll through these Instagrams and YouTube, I've heard so many these messages, videos, comments that I see. There are like thousands of people who are born into these kind of things, and they think that one day their family might love them. It's okay. If that point comes in your life, then that's a good thing. But instead of waiting, instead of trying to earn it, it is always better to be emotionally independent. Even becoming financially independent, sometimes it's not sufficient. We have to be, it's a better way of life is to be financially independent as well as emotionally independent. This is what I would suggest. And there are a lot of things that you can do. You can just Google certain things. I hope it helps.